Right, a quick word here from Gaurav Sawant, who's currently in Bucha, where we saw a large-scale humanitarian crisis unfolding. In fact, war crimes, as several civilians have been shot dead. In fact, bodies were laying on the streets there. My colleague Gaurav Sawant, who took to the streets of Bucha to try and get an understanding on how bad the situation is there in this war-torn country.
The stench of rotting flesh, burnt bodies. This car, for example, as you can make out, an explosion took place very close by. There are shrapnel marks all over, and the shrapnel has also pierced the windscreen and killed those inside. A family, you can see bodies still inside this car after so many days. Devastated, lying on the road. A man, a woman, a child, and there are bodies that are also lying on the roadside. Those who were killed in the shelling in this area. And this place in Bucha perhaps witnessed very bad, very intense fighting and shelling from both sides. Russia trying to move towards Kyiv, the Ukrainian army trying to stall the advance, and the battlefield was here in Irpin and in Bucha. But today, finally, when agencies have come here after the Russians retreated towards Belarus and the Ukrainian forces have taken control of this area, it's only now that medical services are arriving here to retrieve these bodies, and there are a number of them lying on the roadside, in front of buildings, in ditches. The Ukrainian army says some of them have their hands tied behind them and they were killed in cold blood. Some others killed in shelling. With cameraman Lalit Mohan Joshi in Bucha, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. What is actually heartbreaking in these images, we'll just walk. They live here, they eat here, and they've had nowhere else to go. So bad is the situation that Tatya has just buried her child who was killed in shelling right here. And she broke down as she explained that to me, that the child must be very cold. Instead, so she made a cup of tea and she's put tea and her child's favorite chocolates on that grave that has been just dug here. And there are other graves that have been dug in this area after the shelling in Bucha. The situation here, extremely heartbreaking. The manner in which these people have survived close to 40 days of an intense Russian attack and Ukraine armies fight back in this area. With cameraman Lalit Mohan Joshi in Bucha, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. On the outskirts of Kyiv, en route Bucha, several burnt tanks and armored personal carriers show and indicate the kind of battles that have taken place in this area. Not one, not two, but multiple burnt tanks and APCs in this area. A fierce fight has taken place. The turret completely blown off the tank. The wheels completely destroyed. And this is happening not just in one area, but multiple such locations. If you come close, we'll show you. There's another tank here that lies destroyed. There are other tanks that have been completely destroyed in the attacks that have taken place on the outskirts of Bucha. There are several unexploded shells still lying in this area, and this is the first time as we report this that several agencies are on their way. Just look around, government agencies are now on their way to Bucha to provide relief and help to those impacted by these battles. Whether it's the army that was holding ground here or emergency services who are now making their way in an attempt to bring back those who were trapped in the past 40 days of these fierce tank battles that took place in and around Irpin and Bucha on the outskirts of Kyiv in Ukraine. Gaurav Sawant with camera person Lalit Mohan Joshi en route Bucha for India Today.